Well, people may come to Oakland now to eat, but from 1909 until 1970, people came to Oakland to watch baseball at the legendary and beautiful Forbes Field, the ballpark that's not there anymore, torn down in the early 1970s. One piece of the outfield wall, however, was actually in Schenley Park, and the city hung on to this unusual souvenir. Now, every year, on the morning of October 13th, people start to gather for an unusual event. It was started somewhat inadvertently by Saul Finkelstein from Squirrel Hill, who originally brought his boombox out here just to sit and listen to an audio tape of the 7th game of the 1960 World Series.
I came out beginning in 1985 to just listen to the game, and it was just an incredible experience because there was no one here. It was very quiet, a very beautiful sunny day like this, and I just sat and listened to the ball game. And around 5 years later, someone with a camera found me down here, and they made a story about it, and it's been going ever since.
It's a real grassroots event. And by the year 2000, Jim O'Brien, the Pittsburgh writer and sports historian, had become a sort of host for the affair.
The word got out, and I still don't think people realize how this takes on a life of its own each year.
It's really kind of a nice remembrance, even though most people that show up weren't even here.
I'm here because I wished I had been 40 years ago. My mother and dad came to the game, and I didn't get to come.
I never been here before to see the ball, but my dad, he always promised me to come here.
I was born in Oakland, lived there all my life, and I watched every game I could see here. And naturally, I was at that game.
I was 19 days old, so I don't remember too much about the exact day. But
I was getting out of school, and we had those little transistor radios.
I was actually watching the ball game with my father.
And we were all outside waiting to get in the bus when he hit the home run. And we were just thrilled.
And my cat had died the night before.
And it means as much to me as it did then.
I decided the Pirates were behind 7-4, it's time to bury the cat. And I knew that they would win if we did that. So I went out, buried the cat, came back in, and it was the bottom of the 8th, and everything started from that point on. So I totally credit that cat for the Pirates winning it.
Actually, it was Bill Mazeroski who hit the unforgettable home run in the bottom of the 9th inning that won the series for the Pirates. And this day, everyone is hoping Maz will show up.
I was told he may come. We've been waiting for 15 years.
They start the tape shortly after 1 o'clock, and people start to listen.
They pretend they haven't heard the game before, and they listen like it was the first time. And really, when you listen to the broadcast, it really does hold your interest like nothing I've ever heard before.
The crowd grows. Even old Pirates like pitcher Bob Friend joined the festivities.
I've been stopping by here, for a half hour or so for the last 15 years, but this is the biggest crowd that I've ever seen here. Usually there's 75 or 100 people. There must be 300 or 400 people.
I was at the Student Union at the University of Pittsburgh. I was the only man in Pittsburgh who wasn't at the 7th game of the 1960 World Series.
Well, as I heard on the radio this morning, there were 36,000 that some at the game. Today, they'll probably find 500,000 that were there. But I have my ticket.
Well, just after 3 in the afternoon, Mazeroski does show up. He talks to his fans, he signs autographs, and just like 40 years ago, he's the hero of the day.
I mean, to me, when he got out of the limousine, it was like those ball players, those Hall of Famers, walking out of the cornfield.
These were my heroes, when I used to pretend to bat, I was this player. When I was pitching, I was some other player. I mean, just because I'm not a boy doesn't mean I didn't really enjoy the game, and I played it a lot.
There's something about beating the Yankees. I don't think 90% of the people can hear the game, except they can hear the cheer at the end, and that's all that matters.
Wow, it's a really cool event, one that celebrates an unforgettable game, magnificent home run, and a classy old ballpark. It's just one more thing that makes Oakland unusual.